It's a good day to stay in the warm house and email us some questions for Lisa Briggs from the Bruce Company. Tips@channel3000.com if you have a question. Hi, Lisa.
Hello.
Did you have a good Thanksgiving?
I did, and you?
Too much traveling, but
yeah,
it was
I didn't
good.
have any traveling, but it's such a nice holiday.
It feels like we just got rid of the pumpkins, and now we're talking about poinsettias and amaryllis
yes,
and the
all
holiday
the
flowers.
fancy Christmas flowers, indeed.
Speaking of, that is our first question. Patty is looking for some tips on how to keep her poinsettia thriving and surviving throughout the holidays.
So you have to remember that poinsettias are a euphorbia, which is kind of not a cactus, but related to a cactus. So those are the things they need. They need heat. They need dry soil, and they need a lot of sun. So find your sunniest window that is not really cold, and be sure that you let it dry thoroughly between waterings. If it's in like a fancy foil, like a lot of them come in now, make sure that you put a hole in the bottom of that so it drains. That foil wrap can hold a lot of water and make it soggy.
Okay.
But those are the three things: heat, light, and infrequent watering.
Okay, but they do need a little bit of TLC.
They do, but they're from Mexico. So think about the Mexican landscape where they grow wild, and those are the conditions that they like.
Okay. Laura says she has a plant. It looks like a red flower. It looks like a peace lily. It blooms often, but it's getting kind of leggy and it doesn't stand up anymore. So she wants to know if she should repot it. Do you know what that is?
It's probably an anthurium. They come mostly in red. It's a tropical plant, very shiny leaves. That flower is actually the thing in the center, and that, like a poinsettia, is a bract. It's a sort of modified leaf form that is part of the flower. Anthuriums like a lot of sun. Temperature-wise, you don't want it to be too cold, and they also, though, can withstand moisture soils. This is not a great time to be repotting plants. So if it's really floppy, what I would do is get some stakes and sort of put 3 stakes in the pot, and then kind of some twine or something to keep it upright, and then do your repotting end of February, early March, as the days are getting longer.
Okay, all right, good idea. Glory would like to know if she should fertilize her cactus after it finishes blooming. She said it was beautiful this year. She has a light pink red cacti.
So I'm assuming she's talking about a holiday cactus, a Christmas cactus, a Thanksgiving cactus. Cactus do not require a lot of fertilizing to get them to bloom or to keep them happy. They grow in the desert where there's not a lot of fertility to the soil. What you want to do, though, is make sure it gets plenty of light, that especially in the winter, you make sure it dries out thoroughly between waterings. I always like to say that for every couple inches of pot diameter, that's a week between waterings.
That's good to think about.
With a Christmas cactus, just watch the watering, enjoy the flowers while they are, and really you don't need fertilizer to keep them flowering or healthy.
Okay, that was a good question. Frank says his climbing rose bush has not had any roses on it for several years, and he's wondering what he needs to do.
So this is a little tricky, Frank. If you have a climbing rose that is grafted, meaning it's a hybrid rose, the rose that's flowering is the top half, and then it's grafted onto some hardier rootstock, and it died back all the way to the ground below the rootstock, then it's probably just new growth coming from the rootstock. If you had a hardy climbing rose, like Blaze or some of the other Canadian ones, the other thing that would cause it to not bloom as well would be sunlight. You plant a rose in a place and there's a lot of sun, things grow up around it and cast more shade. So I would guess it's one of those two things.
Okay. If I didn't get to your question, I always send them to Lisa.
Yeah, and I'll have the plant desk answer them.
The nicest person ever. She'll get you an answer. But thanks everybody for your questions. Thanks, Lisa. Good to see you.